Lights, camera, action. We are taking a trip back in time to explore the glittering, popcorn-scented history of the silver screen in Rockford, Illinois. From the early Nickelodeon days of 1905 to the high glitz era of the late 1930s, here is how the Forest City watched the magic happen. The early reel, 1905 to 1909. The century was young, and moving pictures were the hot new novelty. 1905, the curtain rises as the Bijou Theater opens its doors, or perhaps even a bit earlier. 1906, a big year for entertainment. The Orpheum Theater makes its grand debut on September 10th, quickly followed by the opening of the Dreamland Theater. 1908, on January 13th, the Rockford Picture Parlor gets its first official shout-out in the records, while the Star Theater begins its short run. 1909, the Majestic Theater joins the party on January 18th. The silent era grows, 1910 to 1919. As the industry matured, theaters began popping up and closing down at a rapid-fire pace. 1910, it's lights out for the Star Theater as it closes its doors. 1912, nearby Belvedere gets the Apollo Theater, while Rockford welcomes the Princess Photoplay on November 13th. 1913, a busy year. The Palm Theater opens on December 1st, joined by the Lyric and the Jewel. However, the Princess Photoplay takes its final bow on November 16th. 1914, on September 8th, the Royal Theater opens. Sadly, it's the end of the line for both the Jewel and the Majestic. 1915, the Palace Theater makes its grand entrance on March 15th. 1916, the Family Theater opens on October 13th, but we say goodbye to the Rockford Picture Parlor. 1918, a landmark moment. On August 3rd, the Asher Brothers open the Midway Theater, instantly becoming a local crown jewel. Meanwhile, the Grand Opera House finally closes its doors. 1919, the Family Theater opens, marking a new chapter or location for the name. The Roaring Twenties and the Great Palaces, 1920 to 1929. This decade brought luxury, corporate giants, and eventually, sound. On February 12th, the Old Royal is reborn as the Strand Theater, eventually coming under the wing of the famous Balaban and Cats Circuit. We also bid farewell to the Colonial Theater. 1927, the Grand Dam arrives. On October 9th, Balaban and Cats open the Coronado Theater. As the largest movie palace in town, it changes the Rockford skyline forever.
That was simply marvelous. I've never heard singing in a picture show before.
It felt as if he were right there in the room with us.
1928, February 4th, the Capitol Theater opens. September, history is made. The Coronado shows its first talkie, Lights of New York. October 6th, the Rialto Theater joins the downtown lineup. 1929, the decade ends with the closure of two staples, the Palm and the Strand. The Golden Age and the Great Depression, 1931 to 1939. Even in tough times, the movies provided a much-needed escape. In 1931, a massive reshuffle, the State Theater opens on September 20th, and the Columbia Theater opens on September 1st. The Old Strand is resurrected as the Roxy Theater on October 2nd, but we lose the Dreamland for good. 1937, a year of goodbyes. Both the Columbia Theater and the Orpheum on June 30th close their doors. 1938, on March 31st, the sleek Times Theater opens to the public. 1939, closing out the era, the Roxy undergoes a transformation, becoming the Rex Theater on August 18th. Note, Many of these buildings still stand as a testament to Rockford's rich architectural and cultural history. Thanks for taking the cinematic stroll down memory lane. If you enjoyed this trip through Rockford's past, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into local history.